Okay.
Welcome to your TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello and a warm grand welcome to Thampi Nagarjuna ji from Aluva, Kerala. Namaskaram, sir.
Namaste. How are you?
Fine, just came back from Shabarimala, Ayyappa Diksha. You have seen how Ayyappa suffering.
Yeah,
Snake bite. I don't know. Modi comes to Trishur, he doesn't speak about that. He goes on advertising Maldives. Who goes to Maldives versus Lakshadweep? Who goes to them? Again, today it came out. Tatas will be constructing so much. All corporates routing resources. This is what is happening in India. And top of that,
but ultimately, Reddy ji, ultimately the karma is following you. Are you aware? 20 years back, Malaya came to Shabarimala.
Yeah.
He thrown gold of the millions and looted the Nadiya Kuda. Okay. He sold it for trillion. Now he's on the road. That is the call of karma. India, you can't do any humbugs. You will get the result. It will take its own time.
In this life itself.
Yeah.
Then before I start, I always say, Swamiye Sharnamayappa.
Swamiye Sharnamayappa.
Wonderful. So, your important issue, you raised such an issue, no channel is reporting. We don't find it in social media regularly. Such an important issue, my dear Indians, Indian citizens, all voters. It is one nation, one election. Government has notified in September and it has invited views of every citizen, voter. And the closing date for submitting all those views is just January 15, 2023. September 30, 2023 it started, subject to correction the dates. January 15, 2024, they are going to close the invitation of views or opinions from the public, that means citizens who themselves are constitutional authority, and above 18, they are the voters. See, how many voters across India have knowledge about this? Did they write to the concerned whether they want one election, one nation, one election, or they don't want? How many are aware? Such an important topic, subject, Government of India, Election Commission of India, all state governments, all political parties for that matter, do not discuss this at all. And panchayats, they don't discuss it. Municipalities, they don't discuss it. Municipal corporations, they don't discuss it. Recent assembly, Telangana, newly elected government, they don't even have an idea, they don't discuss it. What is this? And all of a sudden in Lok Sabha, the bill will be passed without any discussion. As opposition walks away, central government happy, there is no discussion. But who is going to suffer? You and me, my dear Indians, all eligible voters and those who aspire to become voters of this great democratic country, because every citizen is a constitutional authority. हम संविधान है. अगर इस तरह की एक देश एक चुनाव का प्रक्रिया, आपके राय क्या है? 15 जनवरी को खत्म हो रहा है. कितने लोगों को मालूम है? क्या आपने राय दिया है? हम खुद संविधान है और वोटर भी है, हमको जानकारी क्यों नहीं आ रही है? शासन सभा में क्यों नहीं डिस्कशन होती है, चर्चा होती है? पार्लियामेंट में नहीं चर्चा होती है, पंचायत में नहीं, कहीं पर चर्चा नहीं, या न्यूज या चैनल्स में चर्चा नहीं होती है, सोशल मीडिया में चर्चा नहीं. कितना अहम मुद्दा है ये, इसीलिए हम ये ला रहे हैं. इंत इंपॉर्टेंट इदी టాపిక్, అంశం ఇది. ఒక దేశం ఒక ఎన్నిక, అరులైన ఓటర్ మహాశయులు, తర్వాత ప్రతి పౌరుడు రాజ్యాంగ వ్యవస్థ. 15 జనవరికి మీ తరఫున మీరు ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు చెప్పాల్సినటువంటి తేదీ అయిపోతా ఉంది. కానీ ఎంతమందికి తెలుసు? ఎందుకు పంచాయతీలో కానీ శాసనసభలో కానీ, మన తెలంగాణ శాసనసభ దీనిపై చర్చించినారా? పార్లమెంట్లో చర్చనే ఉండదు, అపోజిషన్ బయటికి పోతుంది, పాలక వర్గం సంతోషం. మున్సిపాలిటీస్, పురపాలక సంఘాలు ఎక్కడా చర్చ లేదు. నష్టపోయేది ఎవరు? మీరు, మనమే, నేను, మీరే. ఎలక్టరల్ బాండ్స్ you can't source information. That bill has been passed during COVID-19. Unfortunately, BJP-led government and all political parties silently supporting. Electoral bonds means the corporates funding any political party. You cannot have any information. See, you are a constitutional authority, you are a voter, you don't have any information. Supreme Court is still sitting on that. जो पैसा देता है उसका हिसाब किताब आपको जानकारी नहीं होगी, और आप वोटर है और आप जाके चुनाव में उनको वोट डालते हैं, लेकिन आपको जानकारी नहीं ये पार्टी, ये प्रतिनिधि को पैसे कहां से आ रहा, किसने पैसे दे रहे हैं. क्या ये जुर्म नहीं है? उच्चतम न्यायालय अभी कुछ तीर्मान नहीं किया है. सिमिलर वे ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్ల ద్వారా డబ్బులు రాజకీయ పార్టీలు పోటీ చేసేటువంటి అభ్యర్థులకు వస్తుంటాయి, కానీ ఆ డబ్బుల వివరాలు మటుకు మనకి ఇవ్వరట. ఈ బిల్లు పాస్ చేశారు, అన్ని రాజకీయ పార్టీలు ఒకటే, ఎవడు మాట్లాడాడు. ఈ డబ్బు ఎవరిస్తున్నారు? అవినీతి డబ్బా? ఎక్కడి డబ్బు ఇది? రాజకీయ పార్టీలకు మనకు సమాచారం వద్దా? మనమే ఓటర్లం కదా, మనమే రాజ్యాంగం కదా, మనకు వద్దా సమాచారం? ఎంత అన్యాయం! ఇటువంటి ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి అంశం మీద ఇంకా సుప్రీంకోర్టు తీర్పు వెలువరచలేదు. కానీ ఎన్నికల తరఫున ఎన్నికలు అవుతా ఉన్నాయి, అవే ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్స్, అవే డబ్బులు వస్తూ ఉన్నాయి, ఒకే పార్టీకి పెద్ద ఎత్తున డబ్బులు వస్తాయి. ఎవడు పాలక వర్గం అయితే వాడు. ఎంత అన్యాయం! హూఎవర్ ఇస్ రూలింగ్ దే విల్ గెట్ మోర్ ఫండ్. ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఫ్రీ అండ్ ఫెయిర్ ఎలక్షన్? ఇది స్వేచ్ఛాయుత వాతావరణంలో ఎన్నికలా? ఎంత అన్యాయం! ఇది చాలనకుండా ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా అపాయింట్మెంట్, అది కూడా ఎవరు? అపహాస్యం. ప్రధానమంత్రి, ఆయన కింద పనిచేసేటువంటి కేబినెట్ మంత్రి, ప్రతిపక్ష నాయకుడు. ప్రతిపక్ష నాయకుడికి ఏమైనా మాట్లాడడానికి వస్తుందే వీళ్ళిద్దరు ఒకటైనప్పుడు? అంటే భారతదేశంలో ఎన్నికల సంఘాన్ని మొత్తం ఎవరైతే పాలక పక్షం ఉంటుందో వానికి గులాంగిరి. ఇంకా స్వేచ్ఛాయుత వాతావరణంలో ఎన్నికలక రాజ్యాంగ ఉల్లంఘనలు, రాజ్యాంగ అపహాస్యం, ప్రజాస్వామ్యం గోవిందా. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో ఒక దేశం ఒక ఎన్నిక ఎంతవరకు సబబు మిత్రమా? ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్స్ బాయ్, ఎన్నికల సంఘం అపాయింట్మెంట్లన్నీ కూడా ఏ పాలక వర్గం ఉంటుందో వారి చేతిలో. ఎన్నికల సంఘం కమిషనర్లను స్పెషల్ సెక్రటరీ స్థాయికి తీసుకొచ్చారు. స్వయం ప్రతిపత్తి లేదు. వాడు గులాంగిరిలాగా వాడు డబ్బులు వేస్తే ప్రభుత్వం ఆ డబ్బులతో ఏరుకోవాలి. ఇంతకుముందు స్వయం ప్రతిపత్తి అబౌవ్ ఆ డిప్టీ ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ లెవెల్ ర్యాంక్ ఉండేది. సో దే హ్యావ్ ఫినిష్డ్ ఆఫ్ త్రూ ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్స్. యూ can't find any information. Nor appointment of election commissioners. Prime Minister, his own cabinet minister and opposition leader. Will any opposition leader will have any say? Before it used to be Chief Justice of India. Now they have removed him. That means government will control elections. Then how can there be a free and fair election? Then one nation, one election, can it sustain? Mockery of people participatory democracy. संविधान की धज्जी उड़ा रहे हैं ये लोग. जिस तरह इलेक्ट्रल बॉन्ड हमको कोई समाचार नहीं, और इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया जो कमिश्नर्स है उनको कौन चुनते हैं आज? प्रधानमंत्री, उनके नीचे वाला कैबिनेट मंत्री और प्रतिपक्ष नायक. क्या प्रतिपक्ष नायक को कुछ बात करने की उसमें होगी? ये दो मिल गए तो आज सरकार के नीचे हमारे चुनाव संघ जो स्वयं प्रतिपत्ति से काम करने वाले हैं, जो लोकतंत्र को बचाने की प्रक्रिया है, आज उसको खत्म कर दिया है. ऐसे मौके, ऐसे दौर पर क्या एक देश एक चुनाव सही है? हमारे लोकतंत्र की, संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ा रहे हैं एक के पीछे एक. कौन पैसे देता कौन से पार्टी को हमको कोई जानकारी नहीं, फिर भी हम जाके वोट डालना है. और वोट डालना कौन? इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया है. यही लोग जो चुने गिने प्रधानमंत्री और कैबिनेट मंत्री जो शासन करते हैं पार्टी, उनके हाथ के नीचे काम करने वाले ये लोग स्वयं प्रतिपत्ति से किस तरह काम करेंगे? ఏ విధంగా వాళ్ళు స్వతంత్రంగా పనిచేస్తారు? ప్రధానమంత్రి, క్యాబినెట్ మంత్రి చేత ఎన్నుకోబడ్డటువంటి ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా మళ్ళా ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్ల ద్వారా డబ్బులు ఎవరిస్తారో మనకు తెలియదు. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో ఎన్నికలు స్వేచ్ఛాయుత వాతావరణంలో జరుగుతాయా మిత్రమా? ఎంత అన్యాయం, దుర్మార్గం, ప్రజాస్వామ్యాన్ని కూని చేస్తున్నాడు. making mockery of people participatory constitutional democracy. Idi chalanakunda, as if this is not enough. Now they have come out with a notification, which I am thankful to Thampi Nagarjuna ji. He brought it out to my notice. What are you doing, Dr. Reddy? Even you were saying, are you still sleeping after Ayappa Diksha? No, said, what Thampi Nagarjuna ji?
No,
Go through
I am.
that notification, he said. I will put that notification on the screen. Thampi Nagarjuna will explain. Sir, please go ahead.
Namaste ji. As you explained well, in Chanakya it is told, the last resort of the scoundrels are politics. So all the politicians joined together, or all the scoundrels now focused on India. Because India is the so far untapped lady still in her youth. So all the world people coming, preaching, advising. From the last 900 years, they have done enough tarnishing to us. Still, they are not happy. When they look the 75 years, the hardworking Indians, like honeybee people, again circled India to a youth. So again, they want to do. See, 3 years back, they brought the pandemic, not pandemic. Pandemic, planned disaster. And they looted the maximum. So they were very keen. And how many alerts they were doing through the telephone. When we take a ring, the phone, first it is coming, go and do the vaccine. If you see any public media, any railway station, any public place, go and do the vaccine. Wear the mask, hand wash, and so many instructions, alerts were given by the government, which they misrepresenting as they were the saviors of citizens. If that was true for the election, why they are following the 18th century protocol of just publishing in a newspaper corner and in Gazette, giving only for 135 days, such a very vital, important thing in a democratic country? Is it democratic? So that is what I am coming. All main media streams, all politicians are joined together to loot the poor public. And I don't appreciate it. As far as we are living, we should hand over a peaceful, fruitful country to the next generation. And in India, when they do a fair election can't make these kinds of majority. So there were unfairness going on in everywhere, especially in the EVM and in the pattern. Okay, so what I'm suggesting is, now the suggestion is closing on January 15th. It is not fair. And also you may be knowing, when I send an email, it is kickback, bouncing back, telling there is no such email address. So what is their intention? The bureaucrats want to fool the public by the Canon Law, which they use to crucify the Jesus. As well said, Canon Law never can help the people. It was made in India to loot and kill the people. So we don't want such a law. At least this should be extended minimum for 1 year. So 1 year, at least they should get the information. Why the social media or any other media is not aware of this thing? It is a vital thing. In a democratic country, election is the fundamental thing. And another thing, we want to re-rectify it, not by one India, one pension, Chunav and all. This election should be revamped with online, without spending millions on election. People should be easily, they can cast their vote sitting in their house. Then all other things, vital things they are doing through the online. Why can't they implement this election through the online? Am I right?
You are
Secondly,
right.
Secondly, so far we were handing over our power to the people so-called to rule for 5 years. It should not. We should share our power only with the power to recall back. Even an MLA or an MD or a Rajya Sabha member or a Panchayat member, if they are doing wrong, the citizens who voted should have a right to recall them back through the online immediately without fail. No need of handing over the power to the people and telling we are the representing, who they are representing. No need of any representation. They are our paid employee, from the village extension officer to the Indian president, and from the Panchayat member to the prime minister. They are our servants. Let them do a proper way of administration, because here now even the judiciary is supporting these humbugs. Okay, as per the Article 39, there should not be an Adani or Ambani or a Reliance. All the assets should be equally distributed. Again, 39 and 47. What the 47 preach Constitution? 47 telling, as per the federal, the government, state government is subject to gave the importance for the health and wealth of the people. And liquor should not be sold by the government. Now, even in the judiciary, they are having just the bench, full bench for Abkari. Are they not ashamed of doing these illegal things? Then they are finding another excuse. Arey Baba, these are our directive principles. Who made it as a directive principle? Directive principles are made subject 77 years back. Altogether, we can't do everything. So, after the fundamental rights are made, the directive principles, they should have to implement within no time. That was the agreement. Instead of that, still so far, till today, they are cheating the public. It should not be permitted anymore. So this public notice, they should publish through all social media in all local languages, because English is not our official language. We were having 14 or 22 national languages, including the Sanskrit. Second corner, the people are talking in minority health. Article 26 supporting the minority. So they should publish in all languages, including the Sanskrit, and let them give minimum 6 months for the survey. Then only this will be fair enough, and we can tell this is a democratic country. What does democracy means? Democracy never means anybody having majority can do gundaism. No, mass majority is to support the justification of the government. So this should be after the time of TN session, before and after all the chamchas selected by the Gunda Prime Minister is bureaucracy is ruling the country, because first of all, majority of the rulers are having this, ignorance, and they are not having the knowledge of English. So if anybody talk in English, they are thinking it is something big. What is it? We don't want English. We want everything to be in our local language, which our local people should have to understand. So I am requesting the Election Commission, Prime Minister, and Indian President. It is not a request. It is an order from a citizen to do fair practice. So avoid all these things. Let them make proper election through the online with a zero investment. And all this should be published. 6 month survey should be done. So you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah, I'll read this notice. Public notice,
Yes.
High Level Committee, One Nation, One Election notice for inviting suggestions from members of general public for making appropriate changes in the existing legal administrative framework to enable simultaneous elections in the country. The government of India has constituted a high-level committee, One Nation, One Election, Wide Gazette, so and so, dated September 2, 2023. This is the online. As per the terms of reference, the committee is required to make recommendations for creation of an appropriate legal and administrative framework for holding simultaneous elections on a permanent basis, identification of necessary amendments to the constitution and related election laws, preparation of common electoral rolls, logistics such as EVMs, VVPATs. Why there is no ballot paper, Mr. Modi? Why there is no ballot paper? You are stressing only on EVMs and VVPATs. Why are you not stressing on ballot papers? Even all developed countries, including America, they have gone for ballot paper, and there is no one-day election. Election is 30 days time, and everyone can vote from wherever they are, through their computer, through their mobile, and through their nearest polling booths. And if you are a developed country, as you are claiming, Mr. Modi, why there is no ballot paper election? Why election is only held in on one day or 2 days? Why you are not giving time to those eligible voters so that the voting percentage will increase? And you take guarantees. You have voter card attached with Aadhaar card or something. Make foolproof arrangements. Those who have voted are genuine voters. That you can always make. You have the technology. Then why are you not doing it? आप क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? आप మీరు ఎందుకు చేయడం లేదు? ఎన్నికలు అమెరికాలో కానీ అభివృద్ధి చెందిన దేశాల్లో నెల రోజులు. వాడు ఎక్కడుంటే అక్కడి నుంచి ఓటేయచ్చు. టాబ్లెట్ నుంచి దాని నుంచో పక్క పోలింగ్ బూత్కి పోయో ఓటర్ కార్డును ఆధార్ కార్డు కానీ మీరే అనుసంధానం చేయండి. ఎటువంటి మోసాలు జరగకుండా అర్హులైన ఓటర్లందరూ ఓటేసేటట్టు. जिनको भी वोट है वो सही तरीके से वोट लेने के लिए, जिस तरह अमेरिका में है, 1 महीने आप पूरा चलाइए, कहां से भी वोट डाल सकता, और वोटर आईडी कार्ड को आप आधार कार्ड के साथ अनुसंधान कीजिए, ताकि वहां कोई भी गलत वोट, गलत तरीके से उनकी जो है वोट को कोई दूसरी तरीके से इस्तेमाल ना करे. ऐसा प्रक्रिया आप क्यों नहीं करते? दिस इज व्हाट बीट्स माय इंटेलिजेंस. और यहां पर बैलेट पेपर की बात नहीं करते हैं. और देखिए, all suggestions received by 15th January 2024 will be placed before the committee for its consideration. 15 जनवरी तक की टाइम है. 15 जनवरी वरके समय में. ఎంత మందికి తెలుసు? कितने लोगों को मालूम है? ऐसा अहम मुद्दा मोदी जी मालदीव्स वर्सेस लक्षद्वीप की बात करते हैं, इसके ऊपर बात क्यों नहीं करते हैं? क्यों बात नहीं कर रहे आप? क्योंकि आपको भी पता है इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया का अपॉइंटमेंट जो है गलत तरीके से हुआ. और ये देखिए, इसमें ये बताते हैं हम, इलेक्शन कमीशन अपॉइंटमेंट बिल फेयरवेल टू फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस, पीएम कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर एंड लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन. हम ये ఛానల్ के माध्यम से, ఈ ఛానల్ ద్వారా అందరిని అడుగుతా ఉన్నాం, ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్స్ ను ప్రభుత్వమే ఎన్నుకుంటే, ప్రభుత్వమే వారిని బాధ్యతలు వాళ్ళు సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటే, ఎన్నుకోబడితే, వారికి బాధ్యతలు అప్పచెప్తే ప్రభుత్వమే, ఎన్నికలు స్వేచ్ఛాయుత వాతావరణం జరుగుతాయా? ఇప్పుడు 2018 నుంచి నేను ఎన్ని కంప్లైంట్లు ఇచ్చాను, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ కంప్లైంట్ ఆన్ ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్. హీ వెంట్ అండ్ అమెండెడ్ ది ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా బిల్. వెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇండిపెండెంట్, దిస్ ఈస్ ది స్టేట్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. నౌ వాట్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అపాయింటెడ్ బై ది రూలింగ్ పార్టీ, PM and cabinet? Opposition leader will be sleeping. What tomorrow if both sleeping opposition leader and cabinet minister become one? Both are dangerous for democracy. రేపు ఇదే క్యాబినెట్ మంత్రి గాని ప్రతిపక్ష నాయకుడు ఒకటై ఎన్నికల సంఘాన్ని వాళ్ళు ఎన్నుకుంటే పరిస్థితి ఏంది? ప్రజాస్వామ్యం పరిస్థితి ఏంది? అది నష్టమే. ప్రధానమంత్రి క్యాబినెట్ మినిస్టర్ ద్వారా ఎన్నుకోబడి ఇది నష్టమే. ప్రజాస్వామ్యం స్వేచ్ఛాయుతంగా ఎన్నికలు జరుగుతూనే ప్రజాస్వామ్యం. इफ देयर इज अ फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन ओनली इट इज डेमोक्रेसी. अगर चुनाव एक सही और स्वेच्छ वातावरण में होते ही उसको ही हम लोकतंत्र कहते हैं, वरना ये खत्म ही हो जाएगा ये सिलसिला. तो इतनी बड़ी मुद्दा आपने सवरण किया है. यू हैव अमेंडेड दिस, एंड हाउ कैन यू से देयर विल बी वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन? हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? योर कमेंट्स सर.
ഓക്കെ, മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയട്ടെ ഇനി?
മലയാളം.
ഓക്കെ, നമസ്തേ എന്റെ പ്രിയ കേരളീയ മലയാളികളെ. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാമായിരിക്കും, വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട, അതായത് ജനാധിപത്യത്തിന്റെ നട്ടല്ലൊടിക്കുന്ന ഒരു തീരുമാനം പേപ്പർ വഴി കുതന്ത്രത്തിൽ കൂടെ അവർ നടപ്പിലാക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നു. കഴിഞ്ഞ സെപ്റ്റംബർ 2-ാം തീയതി ഇലക്ഷൻ കമ്മീഷണറേതായ ഒരു നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഒരു ഇലക്ഷൻ ഒരു നേഷൻ. അത് കഷ്ടിച്ച് 135 ദിവസം, അതായത് ജനുവരി 15-ാം തീയതി അത് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. 18-ാം നൂറ്റാണ്ടിലെ മീഡിയ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് സായിപ്പുണ്ടാക്കിയ ഒരു നിയമമുണ്ട്. ഇഗ്നറൻസ് ഓഫ് ലോ ഈസ് നോട്ട് ആൻ എക്സ്ക്യൂസ്. അതായത് നിനക്ക് നിയമം അറിയില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് നിനക്ക് രക്ഷപ്പെടാനുള്ള ഒരു മാർഗമല്ലെന്ന് സായിപ്പ് നമ്മുടെ പുറത്ത് അടിച്ചേൽപ്പിച്ചായിരുന്നു. ആ നിയമം പറയുന്നത് പോലെ സെപ്റ്റംബർ 2-ാം തീയതി അവന്മാര് ഗസറ്റിൽ പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്തു, പത്രത്തിൽ ഇട്ടു. അതായത് ഒരു കോർണറിൽ ലെൻസ് വേണ്ടി വരും. എന്തുകൊണ്ട്? ഇല്ലാത്ത പാൻഡമിക്, അതായത് അവര് ഇല്ലാത്ത കൊറോണ അടിച്ചേൽപ്പിച്ച സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് ടെലിഫോൺ എടുക്കാൻ നിവൃത്തിയില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ പോയി വാക്സിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യൂ, നിങ്ങൾ മാസ്ക് ധരിക്കൂ, നിങ്ങൾ പെട്രോൾ ഒഴിച്ച് കൈ കഴുകൂ എന്ന് എല്ലാ ഭാഷയിലും നമ്മളെ അലർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് മാത്രമേ നമുക്കൊരു മരണവാർത്ത പോലും പിടിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളായിരുന്നു. അത്രയും അലർട്ടായിട്ട് ജനങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ബോധവൽക്കരണം നടത്തിയ ഈ ഭരണാധികാരികൾ ഇതെന്തിനാണ് ഇങ്ങനൊരു ചെറിയ ന്യൂസായിട്ട് വെച്ചേക്കുന്നത്? അപ്പം എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇവർക്കിത് സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ വഴി അറിയിച്ചുകൂടാ? ഇങ്ങനൊരു ഇലക്ഷൻ ഒരു മാറ്റം വരുത്തണം, നിങ്ങൾ ജനങ്ങളുടെ അവകാശങ്ങളും ജനങ്ങളെ തിരിച്ചറിയാനുള്ളൊരു ബോധം ഉണ്ടാക്കണ്ടേ? ശരിക്കും ഇത്രയും അഡ്വാൻസ്ഡ് സിസ്റ്റം ഉള്ളപ്പം എന്തിനാണ് കോടിക്കണക്കിന് രൂപ മുടക്കി 5 കൊല്ലത്തിലൊരു ഇലക്ഷൻ അവർക്ക് ഓൺലൈനിൽ കൂടെ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലിരുന്ന് സുതാര്യമായിട്ട് ഫോൺ ഐഡന്റിഫിക്കേഷൻ കൂടെ, ഇപ്പൊ ഫോണില്ലാത്തവരാരുമില്ല. പിന്നെ പാസ്ബുക്ക് എടുക്കണമെങ്കിലോ റേഷൻ മേടിക്കണമെങ്കിലോ ഇവരുടെ ഫോൺ വേണ്ട സമയത്ത് ഫോണിൽ കൂടെ നമുക്ക് എന്തുകൊണ്ടൊരു ഓൺലൈൻ 0 ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് ഇലക്ഷൻ തീരുമാനിച്ചുകൂടാ? അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ ഇലക്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അധികാര കൈമാറ്റം ഇനി വേണ്ട, അധികാര ഷെയറിങ് മാത്രം മതി. ഷെയറിങ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പഞ്ചായത്ത് മെമ്പർ തുടങ്ങി ഇന്ത്യൻ പ്രസിഡന്റ് വരെ നാം എലക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളവര് ജനഹിതങ്ങൾക്ക് അനുസരിച്ചല്ല പെരുമാറുന്നെങ്കിൽ അവരെ കയ്യോട് തിരിച്ചു വിളിക്കാൻ ഇതേപോലെ ഓൺലൈൻ റീകോളിംഗ് സിസ്റ്റം കൂടെ ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുക. അതായത് നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ വേലക്കാര് മോശമായിട്ട് പെരുമാറിയാൽ, അയ്യോ അവന് കോൺട്രാക്ട് ഉണ്ട് 2 കൊല്ലം വരെ, അതുകൊണ്ട് അവൻ വിഷം തന്ന് നമ്മളെ കൊല്ലുന്നവര് കാത്തിരിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമുണ്ടോ? അപ്പോൾ എപ്പോൾ ഇവര് ജനഹിതത്തിന് വിരോധമായിട്ട് പെരുമാറുമ്പോ ഇവരെ പുറത്താക്കാൻ പാകത്തിലുള്ള റീകോളിംഗ് ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള നിയമ സംവിധാനം കൊണ്ടുവരണം. TN ശേഷന് മുൻപോ TN ശേഷന് ശേഷമോ ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ പാദസേവകര് മാത്രമാണ് സർവ്വ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരും. ചെരുപ്പ് നക്കിയാൽ നാണമില്ലേ ഇവർക്ക്? ഇവർ ഈ രാജ്യത്തെ സ്നേഹിക്കുന്നവരാണോ? നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കൂ. ഇവിടുത്തെ ജുഡീഷ്യറിയാണ് ഏറ്റവും മോശമെന്ന് ഗഡ്ജ് തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു. കൈക്കൂലി അഴിമതിക്കാരെ കൊണ്ട് ജനാധിപത്യത്തിന്റെ പരമോന്നതമായ ക്രൗൺ, അതായത് പരമോന്നതമായ കസേരയാണ് ജുഡീഷ്യറി എന്നും ലെജിസ്ലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന നിയമങ്ങൾ അത് ബ്യൂറോക്രസി വരെ നടപ്പിലാക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്ന് നോക്കാനും അഥവാ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നടപ്പിലാക്കാനുമുള്ള ജുഡീഷ്യറി ഇന്ന് വെറും നോക്കുകുത്തി മാത്രമായിട്ട് ഭരണഘടനയുടെ 39 എല്ലാവർക്കും സമ്പത്ത് തുല്യമായിട്ട് വീതിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള 39 അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 47 പ്രകാരം എല്ലാവരുടെയും ആരോഗ്യ സംരക്ഷണം, നല്ല ഭക്ഷണം കൊടുക്കുക എന്നിവയൊന്നും ചെയ്യാതെ ഇവര് നിയമം പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് റോഡിൽ നിന്ന് ഗുണ്ടാപിരിവ് നടത്തുന്നു. ഇതിനാണോ ഇവിടെ ഈ ഇലക്ഷൻ കമ്മീഷൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്? അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ 135 ദിവസം ജനങ്ങൾക്ക് പോരാ, ഇതൊരു 6 മാസത്തേക്കെങ്കിലും എല്ലാ മീഡിയ വഴിയും ഇതിനെ അറിയിക്കുക. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇവര് തന്നേക്കുന്ന ഇമെയിൽ അഡ്രസ്സ് കള്ള അഡ്രസ്സാണ്. ഞാൻ അതിലേക്ക് ഇമെയിൽ അയച്ചിട്ട് അയക്കുന്നതിനെക്കാട്ടി സ്പീഡിൽ മുമ്പിൽ തിരിച്ചു വന്നു. ഇവിടുത്തെ എല്ലാ മെയിൻ മീഡിയയും ഉറങ്ങുകയാണ്. ചാണക്യൻ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ രാജ്യദ്രോഹികളുടെയും ഗുണ്ടകളുടെയും അവസാനത്തെ അത്താണിയാണ് രാഷ്ട്രീയം എന്ന് പറയേണ്ടി വരുന്നു. ഒരൊറ്റ സംശുദ്ധ രാഷ്ട്രീയക്കാരൻ ഈ രാജ്യത്ത് ഇല്ലാത്ത ഒരു ഗതികേട് ഈ ജനങ്ങൾ തിരിച്ചറിയുക. നിങ്ങൾ ഇതിന് പ്രതികരിക്കുക. നമ്മൾ രാജാക്കന്മാരാണ്, നാം നികുതിദായകരാണ്, നമ്മുടെ അവകാശങ്ങൾ സംരക്ഷിക്കണം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മളെ ഊറ്റിപ്പഴിയുന്ന ഈ നികുതി ഇവിടുത്തെ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരെ പോറ്റുന്നതിനാണ് 90% ചെലവാക്കുന്നത്. ലക്ഷക്കണക്കിന് ഏക്കർ സ്ഥലം കൃഷി ചെയ്യാതെ പാഴ്ഭൂമിയിട്ട് അതിൽ കൂടെ അസിഡിറ്റി വരുത്തിയിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് രോഗം വരുത്തുന്ന ആധുനിക ചിന്താഗതികൾ മാറ്റി ഇത്രയും ഗോഡ് ബ്ലസ് കൺട്രി നമുക്ക് ദൈവാധീനം കൊണ്ട് 20 ലക്ഷം ഏക്കർ സ്ഥലം വെറുതെ ഇട്ടിട്ട് അറബ് രാജ്യത്ത് പണിക്ക് പോകുന്ന ഈ ഗതികളിൽ നിന്ന് മാറി അന്തസ്സായിട്ട് വോട്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു അവസരം നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ഇതൊരു 6 മാസത്തേക്ക് സർവ്വ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിൽ കൂടെ അവരത് റീപബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നാണ് ഒരു പൗരൻ എന്നുള്ള രീതി കൂടെ എനിക്ക് ഇവരോട് ആജ്ഞാപിക്കാനുള്ളത്. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I'm trying to show them, you go to this link, HTTPS, you click on this, then you'll get a site like this. And then wherein you get a site like this, I have just completed. This site will be there. Here, contact us. You click that. There you go and click the feedback, because this mail, as Thampi Nagarjuna is stating, is not at all receiving mails. We don't know what happened to that. Why? The secretary who is concerned, he should be made responsible for this. That is why when you open that link, you will have all those along with that feedback. Click on the feedback, then it will open up. It will ask your name, your address, your phone number, your email ID, and it will have 2 vacant places wherein you can keep the suggestions. I kept the suggestions. I asked them, when election commissioners of India selected by government of India, when electoral bonds, who is funding which party, is not made public, then how can the election be free and fair? In such a condition, one nation, one election, if it happens, if one party starts ruling right from panchayat to parliament, will there be a democracy? Everything secrecy. It is autocracy. So this is what more important. మీరు పోయి ఈ లింక్ ను క్లిక్ చేసిన తర్వాత దాంట్లో ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ అని ఉంటుంది. దాన్ని క్లిక్ చేస్తే లాంగ్వేజ్ కూడా యూ కెన్ సెలెక్ట్. హిందీ అండ్ ఇంగ్లీషే ఉన్నాయి నేను చూసినప్పుడు. దాంట్లో ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లో మీ వివరాలన్నీ అడిగిన తర్వాత మీరు ఏం చెప్పదలుచుకున్నారో, ఒక దేశం ఒక ఎన్నిక, ఎన్నికల సంఘం ఎవరు వారిని అపాయింట్ చేస్తా ఉన్నారు, ఎన్నికల సంఘాన్ని ఎన్నుకునేది ఎవరు? కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం. ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్స్ ఏ పార్టీకి ఎంత డబ్బు ఇచ్చింది ఆ సమాచారం కూడా ఇవ్వకుండా బిల్లు తెచ్చింది కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం, అన్ని పార్టీలు కలిసి. అక్కడ ఎన్నికల సంఘం ప్రభుత్వం చే ఎన్నుకోబడుతుంది. ఎలక్ట్రల్ బాండ్స్ ఎవరు డబ్బులు ఇస్తున్నారో మనకు తెలియదు. ఎలక్ట్రల్ రోల్స్లో మన పేర్లు మనం చూసాం, ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి ఎక్కడ పోయినాయి కూడా మనం కంప్లైంట్ ఇచ్చిన ఈ రోజు వరకు ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ఈజ్ ఇన్ స్లీపింగ్ మోడ్, అండ్ తెలంగాణ చీఫ్ ఎలక్టరల్ ఆఫీసర్ హీ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ డీప్ కుంభకర్ణ స్లీప్. దే హ్యావ్ నాట్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ us with new electoral cards. So that is the biggest conspiracy. If you don't have proper electoral rolls, which are must and necessary for a free and fair election, because those eligible voters only have to elect, whether for a panchayat to Lok Sabha. When those elected voters list is fraud, then how can there be a free and fair election? So these are the things which, instead of making electoral reforms, bringing in electoral reforms, ఎన్నికల సంస్కరణలు చేయకుండా ఎన్నికల ఎవరైతే అర్హులైన ఓటర్ల జాబితా ఉంటుందో దాంట్లో ఖచ్చితంగా ఎన్నుకునే వాళ్ళే, అర్హులైన వారే ఎన్నుకోవాలి. ఆ ఎన్నికల జాబితా ఎలక్టరల్ రోల్ అదే సరిగ్గా లేకపోతే ఎన్నికలు సజావుగా ఎట్లా జరుగుతాయి? అందుగురించి ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్టరల్ రిఫార్మ్స్, వన్ నేషన్, వన్ కంట్రీ, వన్ నేషన్, when government controls Election Commission of India, when no information is given on electoral bonds, party funding or funding of independents by Election Commission of India, then will there be a free and fair election? This is fraud. That is why Supreme Court, you have to take the call on both issues. Yeah. Supreme Court of India should take the call on both the issues. One is selection of Election Commission of India by the government making mockery. Second, electoral bonds. How is that electoral bonds? Information is not given to the voters and the constitution themselves. Is it not a fraud on the constitution and voters? Then how can there be free and fair election, Ms. Supreme Court of India? Why are you sitting on that case for a long time? You need to function independently. Otherwise, even Supreme Court judges, everything will be appointed by the day of the government. Then the democracy will collapse. Democracy. Yeah, your comments, sir, please.
ഇത്രയും മർമ്മപ്രധാനമായ ഒരു തീരുമാനം ഇവര് വളരെ ജുഗുപ്സാവമായിട്ട് നടത്താൻ പൊതുജനങ്ങൾ അനുവദിക്കരുത്. ഇവിടുത്തെ മെയിൻ മീഡിയ ഉറങ്ങുകയാണോ? ഇവിടുത്തെ മറ്റ് സർക്കാർ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥർ ഉറങ്ങുകയാണോ? രാഷ്ട്രീയ പാർട്ടികൾ ഉറങ്ങുകയാണോ എന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കുക. ഇത് ഒരു പ്രതിപക്ഷ ഭരണപക്ഷ കൂട്ടുകൃഷിയാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. എന്തെങ്കിലും വൈറ്റലായിട്ടുള്ള തീരുമാനം എടുക്കാൻ നേരത്ത് പാർലമെന്റ് ആയാലും അസംബ്ലി ആയാലും പ്രതിപക്ഷം വാക്കൗട്ട് നടത്തും. അത് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അവർ സ്വച്ഛന്തമായിട്ട് ബില്ലുകൾ പാസ്സാക്കും. ഇത് പാടില്ല, പാടില്ല, പാടില്ല. ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്, ജയ് ഭാരത് മാതാ.
Yeah, whether you want electoral reforms wherein those electoral rolls will have all eligible voters list can be cross-checked anytime. Instead of one day, you need to have minimum month of time of voting. Public money will be stopped spending and no one should contest in other than one constituency. And then the funding of the political parties should be done by the government. Why I cannot contest? Thampi Nagarjuna cannot contest. Why? Because we cannot spend so much of amount. So the spending should be limited and it should be in the common man interest, common voters interest. Common voters should be able to
not only that, Mr. Reddy.
Yeah.
Mr. Reddy, election expenditure should be funded by the government.
Yeah.
Not by private party. Okay.
That's
Let the government allocate for every candidate.
Yeah.
Let them publish.
Right.
Okay. No private canvassing is needed.
Yeah. You don't
statutory
need
by the government
funding.
only.
Yeah. Don't need
zero investment.
Yeah. Purity
Zero
of
investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a recalling power. Not only electing and handing over the, not enough handing over the power. When they are going wrong against any ethics, we should have the power to record with 24 hours or online.
Right. So these are the suggestions.
This will be a time for 24. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to make it a happy. Okay.
Right. Electoral purity of electoral rolls is one. Conduction of elections by Election Commission of India should be very independent and should be a free and fair way. Voting should be throughout 30 days time and all eligible voters in those electoral rolls only should vote. No question of allowing others to vote. And the funding should be by the government so that any commoner, independents can also have equal parity with those parties which are receiving funds, political parties, recognized political parties. Then otherwise it is not a free and fair election. And then the most important factor, recalling facility. If you are not coming to the rescue of people, the elections means rights and resources. Ennikalante hakkulu vanarulu. When such is the case, you are the custodian of fundamental rights. You should take care of the fundamental rights. They are not infringed and there is no loot of natural resources. If that is happening, if you are going against the constitutional viability or promises made, and if you are infringing on fundamental rights, if you become part of looting of natural resources, you should be recalled immediately. So that recall facility should always be there along with purity of electoral rolls. Independent Election Commission of India conducting elections in a time should be 30 days or more, like all developed countries. From wherever they are, they can vote. You have electoral vote cards attached to Aadhaar cards for more security, and funding should be by government, not by private. And then equal opportunity, whether in funding and publicity, should be taken care by Independent Election Commission of India only. And with recall facility, if they are not able to come to the rescue of people participatory constitutional democracy, if they are making mockery of the democracy, they should be recalled. These should be very fundamental. And these are the electoral reforms which we need. More than one nation, one election. Once these are in place, people will never have any doubts. That is the beauty of our democracy. Let us only hope democracy survives. हम यही चाहते हैं कि लोकतंत्र बरकरार रहे. మనం ఇదే కోరుకుందాం. ప్రజాస్వామ్యం